Welcome back to the Black Mental Health Channel. Well, today I am going to share my personal story as it regards to anxiety, depression, and panic attacks. All right. I actually experienced all three. So let's get into it. Um, let's start from the beginning. So the first time I experienced um a panic attack, and it came in segments for me. It wasn't, anxiety, then depression and panic. It actually was a panic attack that started my anxiety and then in turn led to some depression. Okay. So it's a really touchy subject for me, but let's jump right in it. So one day, this is my first panic attack. Well, I've had little small panic attacks, but this is the biggest one I've ever had, and this is the one that really tilt the scales of my anxiety. So basically, I was in a laundromat, doing some laundry, and I just felt like out of the blue, everything was normal. Then I just felt like I was having a heart attack out of the blue. My heart began to race. I started to sweat, like really sweat. The room was spinning. Everything just became a blur. Um, it was as if I was out of my body. It was like an out of body experience, and immediately I knew something was wrong. I could feel my heart beating out my chest for no apparent reason. I wasn't excited. Nothing was going on. Nobody else in the laundromat was even remotely, a threat to me or anything. And I just started to freak out of nowhere. Man, let me tell you, I felt like I was going to die. The only thing my mind was telling me, you're going to die, you're going to die. You're having a heart attack. You need to get help. So basically, what I tried to do at that point was like, I'm not going to freak out. I don't want the people to see me, you know, it would be kind of embarrassing to think I'm about to die, right? And I'm thinking about being embarrassed. But anyway, I sat down and I tried to contain myself. I tried to take deep breaths, and I tried to use my mind power to kind of will myself out of what was happening, which I didn't know what was happening, so it would be crazy. So anyway, I got a little bit of a handle on it. I calmed myself down a little bit. My heart was still racing, like it was just, I could hear my own heartbeat. I never heard that before. I heard my heartbeat. It was like boom, 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 just beating against my chest. And I put my hand to my chest. My heart was beating out of my chest. I was like, oh shit. So anyway, my car was parked out in the parking lot of the laundromat, and I said to myself, do I really need to drive? Should I call 911? I was having a real emergency, but being tough and being who I was like, I'm not gonna even show any weakness. I'm just gonna try to my clothes were still in the washing cycle. I got up and just got to my car, and I put the seat back and I put my feet up and I tried to breathe. I was having a real emergency. I then when something said to me, just go home. Try to go home. I was about 4 minutes from my house, and I drove home, and I called who was my ex. I called her. She's my ex now, and I called her and I, explained to her what was going on, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I need to go to the hospital. I'm having an emergency. So she called her sister. She was at work, and her sister came by in like a couple of minutes, and you know we headed to the hospital. So, oh god, as you could tell, I'm a little bit stressed out over reliving that whole ordeal. But the bottom line is, um, yeah, that's how it started. So when I look back at it, we actually went to the nearest hospital. I won't call the name of the hospital. We went there, and I sat in the emergency room for at least 3 hours before I was even, before they even looked at me. Living in New York City, it's a big, a big crowd at the emergency rooms. It was very, it's a long waiting time. So anyway, I finally saw a doctor. When they did an EKG on me. No, I'm not. I wasn't being entirely truthful there. I didn't remember. But what happened was when I got there, they did an EKG to kind of assess, because when you come in with anything heart related, they want to know what's going on. So they did an EKG on me, and the EKG was abnormal, and that started my worry, and I was now convinced I was gonna die. Um, so then they kept me in that hospital overnight for observation. They hooked me up to the machines. They hooked me up to an Alta monitor, because they didn't know I was having a panic attack. It was all the classic symptoms of a heart attack. So they had to, make sure they were doing the right thing and taking the right precautions. So they dealt with they dealt with it as if it was a heart episode, or they knew it wasn't a heart attack, but they knew something was going on. Something wasn't right. My heart enzymes were elevated to show that there was something going on with the heart. So that and the bad EKG was just signs that something bad was happening here. So anyway, I stayed in the hospital that's the first time I got hospitalized for panic attack. I stayed there for about 4 days, and then I went on to go to another hospital. And long story short, I was diagnosed with a genetic heart condition, um, and that heart condition is pretty much what I thought was gonna kill me. But the thing is, that heart condition wasn't the reason I was having this issue. It was just something that they actually found, as a result of this panic attack, because they dig deep enough to find it. Normally, that heart condition wouldn't, have any impact on me, any immediate danger. But they found it. So now, this is what's going to lead into my anxiety. This actually made me anxious now, because now not only did I have a panic attack, now I have a underlying genetic condition that's gonna kill me. So then my anxiety started to, this was the height of my anxiety. Every day I thought that I was gonna die from that day onward. It was gonna be a rough couple of years to come, only I did not know that this was the beginning of the end, really, to my sanity, so to speak. I'm sorry if I'm making a little humor out of this, but it's, looking back, it's a little bit funny, I can't believe how far I've come. But anyway, I will make a part 2 to this video, because this one has gone almost to the 10-minute mark, and I don't want to make these videos long and drawn out. But this was just the story of how my anxiety started. I had a panic attack. The panic attack led me to discover a illness, and that illness kicked off my my anxiety, and my anxiety actually morphed into hypochondria, or health anxiety. So I pretty much had health anxiety. So I was just anxious about my health all the time. So in the next video, we will that will be the part 2 of this video, and we will get into the specifics of my journey with anxiety and how that progressed. All right, so thanks for listening, and if you're going through something similar right now, I wouldn't wish this upon my worst enemy. This is indeed the worst thing that has ever happened to me in my entire life. All right, so with that being said, I will catch you guys on the next video. All right, peace.